Hi guys, it happened so quick. It was so funny. I hit the button to be able to do this and it just kept saying start, start, start. So I stopped it, started it over, didn't even have time for a drink. I'm telling you, I don't even understand electronics sometimes. Alright, so this particular class, this topic, I have wanted to do for a really long time. And I always hesitate. I go back and forth because I need you to know in my heart of hearts, I never, ever, ever would want to do or say something that would hurt anybody's feelings. I would never want to feel like I'm taking somebody to the woodshed or anything along those lines. I truly, honestly believe that there's nobody out there who's trying to do something to hurt other people, and I just want this to be coming from the right place, from the right space. And you know that my heart is about helping all of you guys. My heart is about loving on everybody and making sure that we're all in the same place, on the same page. So I'm just going to talk from my heart to you guys, but I'm going to say right now we need to get a couple oils on, because I think this is going to be one of those classes, one of those topics where we might need a little bit of love going on. So let's start with grab any oils while we're doing this, any oils that are your favorites. Like I got my usuals. I have my frankincense, because you know I love my frankincense. I've got my peppermint. I even have oregano over here today because of some stuff that went down today. So I want you to take some oils and I want you to breathe them in. I want you to rub them on. I want you to get in a good place and be open and know that I'm coming from love. It's all love going on. There's a few I think would be really great for everybody to like grab if you can carry your phone wherever you're going. If you have common sense, I think we're going to need a little bit of common sense going on tonight. I also think you're going to need a little bit of Live with Passion. You're going to need a little bit of My Destiny. You're going to need some Magnify Your Purpose, because we want to get in the right place. And also some Gathering. We're going to talk about some great things you can say and do with Gathering. And then Highest Potential, because I want to be able to help you get to that point. All right? So I'm going to talk from my heart. And if you feel like I'm talking to you specifically, or you feel like, you know, somebody might have called me and said, hey, Shannon, you got to talk about this because so-and-so's doing such and such. I need you to know this was all me. All me. This is all me. Nobody called me and said anything. All right. So grab your oils and get ready for some love from my heart to yours. All right. So I want to do this first. So I want to talk about integrity. Integrity is who you are when nobody else is watching. Integrity is in you. And I looked up the definitions for integrity so that I knew that the word that I'm saying and the thoughts that I'm having, that they're on the same page. So one, integrity is adherence to a moral and ethical principles. So, right, we all have those inside us, who we are, what we're going to be. It is soundness of moral character and honesty. Honesty, you don't have to think what your answer is going to be when you have that moral character, that honesty kicking in, right? It's always there. The other one, and this is my favorite definition of it. I love this. It is the state of being whole, entire, or undiminished. In other words, who I am is who I am all the time. You being amazing, you being wonderful, me helping other people to be able to rise to the cream does not diminish me in any way, shape, or form. That's integrity. That's making sure that no matter what, because I'm here to tell you that when you cross a line, when you do teeny tiny little things that you think don't matter, it matters, and it's so hard to get it back. It's so hard to get it back. So being ethical is doing what's right because you know you have to do it because that's the ethical thing. And then there's integrity, which is coming from inside. Integrity says, this is who I choose to be, and messing it up isn't worth it. Like, you guys know, I'm a Christian. I believe the Word of God from the front page all the way to the end. 7 days of creation, hook, line, and sinker. That is my belief system. So everything I do, everything I say, everything has to come from that spot. And my relationship with Father is way too important to cross a line that could possibly make people question not only who I am, but that God I serve. I don't want something I do. I don't want something I do to make you question Him, ever. And if I'm going to stand up and I'm going to say that's what I believe, then my actions better show it. And there's teeny tiny little things, especially in business, that it's so hard to know that line. So I want to start with this first. There is no wrong way to build your Young Living business. There isn't. There are a ton of different ways. Like, if you don't believe me, go to the 12 Days of Diamond Facebook group. If you're not already in it, you need to be. TWELVE, 12 Days of Diamond. Go on there. Say that you want to be there, because you're going to hear from 70 plus different diamonds, crown diamonds, royal crown diamonds, that have built their business different ways. They've all done it different. So whether you're doing it online, whether you're doing it with animals, you do it with kids, you do it with people, whatever you're doing, it's all good. But no matter what way you're doing it, it has to be done with a standard, right? Young Living, we are unique and set apart in the essential oil world. We are. Our properties, our lands, our oils, the vibration that our stuff has, it is amazing. It is better than the best. We are superior. We are. Our oils rock. And we as distributors, as a team, as Team Young Living, we need to have those same standards. I don't want anyone to ever question whether or not Young Living does things the right way, right? And we, you, me, from distributor to Royal Crown Diamond, we are Young Living. So when we're crossing lines, when we're doing things that are inappropriate or not quite right, or crossing, I'm just going to tell you a little secret and tell you something you shouldn't be saying, or saying something to somebody like, oh, you don't have to say it with that upline if you don't want to. You can switch by blah, 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 blah. You all know the blah, blah, blah. It's just wrong. Here's a note. If what you get ready to say to somebody when you're around a whole bunch of people, you feel like you have to whisper it, you shouldn't have said it. You shouldn't have done it. You shouldn't have crossed the line. You were wrong. Flat out. If somebody comes to a class or a meeting and something, and you only want your team there, that's okay. That's how you're building. It's okay. More power to you. But when somebody gets to the door, you can't say to them, hey, you can only come if you're my team. And even though you're signed up with somebody else, let me give you an application. You can sign up underneath us with a different name, or under your husband's name, or under a business name. It's wrong. It just is. I'm going to call it what it is. And we, as a team, as Young Living, our ethics, our integrity has to be so straight that we don't. So if you want to say you can't come, that's okay. It is your business. You can build it that way. But when they come to the door, simply say, oh, I'm sorry. This is only for our team members. There's a whole bunch of other classes that are online that you can find, that are one-on-one classes. There's all kinds of stuff. You can go there. You can find them. Go to youngliving.com under events. That's the ethical way to do it. That shows integrity. That shows that you truly are a leader, that you care in your core what you say and do is right at all times. Right? So if you're at a fair and you got a booth going on and somebody comes up and they're smelling your oils and you say, have you ever heard of oils? And they go, yes, I'm a Young Living distributor. And you say, oh, well, you can only look at my stuff if you're in my business. So if you want to switch, and you give them the offer of how to be able to switch, that's where you cross the line. It's okay if you don't want other Young Living distributors to smell your oils or share your stuff. That's you. Like, I'm not calling anybody on that. You have that right. But you don't have the right to steal somebody else's distributor. And when you try to talk somebody that is already signed up in Young Living to switching organizations in any way, shape, or form, it's a lack of integrity. I'm sorry, I know. For some of you, it's going to annoy you, and I'm sorry because I would never want to hurt anybody's heart. Put a little forgiveness on and forgive me. If you disagree and you think I'm wrong and you think, oh, Shannon, you're horrible, click off. Because I'm just saying, we have to choose that no matter what, we're going to do what is right at all times, right? And that includes when it's uncomfortable. Integrity is doing what's right all the time. Doing what's right because you're supposed to do that, because I want to feel good about me when I go to bed. Right? So if you have somebody, again, if you don't want to train other people's people and they come to stuff, that's okay. You don't have to have them there. You can say in all sweetness and all kindness, oh, I'm so sorry. We don't allow other people that aren't on our team to come to our class. It's when you go that next step and you tell them how they can sign up underneath you, how they can switch to being in your organization when they're already in. That's the line. That's why we can't cross that. We've just got to keep that so straight. I know for us, for all of our classes, teams, all these big events that we do up here in Michigan, it's like a thing. All of our people can advertise. They can do flyers. They can pass out classes. It says their name on it. And if somebody comes to the door with a flyer with somebody's member number on it, we write that down. And if that person decides to get started that day, it goes under that person. And it doesn't matter whether it was somebody on my team or if it's somebody from another organization or somebody from Texas told somebody to come to Michigan and they can go to one of my classes. They know know that they know that they know that we will honor and respect whoever sent them. Do you realize the power of what we can have? You think we're growing fast now? Imagine if worldwide we had that feeling that we could trust that wherever we sent our people, that there would be enough integrity that would happen. It breaks my heart. I hear about it all the time. Where somebody sent somebody, or they had somebody go to somebody else's class and that person got them to stop ordering for their 6 months. Hello? That's not just hurting that upline, that's hurting that person, that's slowing down their growth. Anybody can grow anywhere. I'm telling you, there's so much education. You can despise your upline. You can be, I hate her. When I look at her, I want to punch her in the face. You can feel that way and still grow where you are. Don't you understand that? That's the power of network marketing, of relationship marketing. You can go above that person. You know what you can also do? There are literally hundreds of online trainings that you can partner with and you can do classes with and you can educate yourself. Or you know what? Maybe you want to do it completely different from everybody else in the known universe. Go for it. But you can do it where you are. You don't have to take other people's people. You don't have to, I'm telling you, if you have to whisper it, if you have to look down, if you have to be like quiet, any of that stuff where you feel like you have to be secretive about it, you crossed a line. That's a lack of integrity and it's hard to get it back. All right, so I've nailed that one. I'm going to go on to another one. While I already have some people annoyed, I'm going to say it. If you're at one of my classes and you bring up any other network marketing company, and I don't care how great the products are, oh my gosh, I don't care if it's the best bed you've ever seen, the most amazing, it does this, it does that, it will fly you to the moon. I don't care what it is. If you mention it at one of my classes, then that's against policy and procedure. It's network marketing. It's not just another oil company. It isn't. It's the integrity to say that these people came here for a Young Living meeting, and I need you to know when you send your people to my stuff, they are safe. They won't hear about some other MLM, some other, I'm not even going to name any, or there's so many out there. And I will be totally honest, I use a whole lot of other network marketing company products. I do. There's some great, fantastic stuff out there, but you will never hear me talk about it at a Young Living class, at an event that we put on Facebook. You won't see me posting on it. Do you know why? I want you to know that your people are safe. They're safe with me. And that if I'm talking to them about Young Living, that's all they're going to hear about is Young Living. They're not going to hear about some competitor. They're not going to hear about some other way of making money. They're just not going to happen. Because my integrity, my monitor says, I know the majority of you because of Young Living. And because I met you via Young Living, because of this branch of my life, I don't have a right to talk to you or share with you about another network marketing company that could take you off track. I don't have that right. And not only do I not have that right ethically, internally for me, like my own compass says it's not okay, it's not okay in our policy and procedure. If you're not sure if something's okay or if it's right, go look. Our policy and procedure sets it out there for us. We don't have to wonder. Young Living has, listen, they've had enough things happen through the years. They've been able to write a rule on almost everything. It's in there. It just is. And we have a choice. It is a choice every single time what you're going to do, how you're going to respond, and what you're going to say. Your people need to be able to trust you. They do. I guess I'll go here since I'm already going places, right? So there is sponsor and there's enroller. And I need you to know 100% that it doesn't matter what you do with the sponsor and enroller. I personally always keep them together. I figure there's bonuses that go with it. If I want that person to do the work, they can have the bonuses. That's just kind of the world according to Shannon. But it's not wrong to put your sponsor and enroller in different places. It's not. As long as the people understand what that means. So, example. You get a health food store, and this is a privately owned itty-bitty little mom and pop place, and you talk to that person, they love Young Living. Like, oh, I love it. It's amazing. I want to do it. And then you say, hey, can I do classes here? And they go, oh, I don't want to do it as a business. I'll just carry some on my shelves, or I'll just do this, or I'll just do that, or I'll just use it for myself. And you say to them, hey, I would love to be able to do some classes here. I can, and you have the options, right? You can what? You can do the classes and you can just sponsor them underneath yourself. You can do the classes, you can give them the sponsor, you can keep the enroller. There's lots of different options. You can just ask for referral based, right? There's things you can do. But that place This is where the integrity, where the arguments that happen later happen, is because there's not clarity of communication between you and that person. Because this is what I hear from lots of people. Because a year later, 2 years later, that person found out that you kept all the that you kept all the enroll list, whereas a lot of the bonuses, right? And the sponsor was underneath them. So they seen their team growing, but they didn't see a bunch of checks coming in because part of their bonuses were going upline. Now, here's what happens. A lot of times that person was very legitimate. I don't want to build a business. And you said, okay. And you went ahead and you started doing classes and you put them under there. And you even said, I'll put the people underneath you, but I'm going to keep the enroller bonus. But they don't know what the word enroller bonus means. It's not clear. They don't get it. Because they don't know that that is a bonus that happens forever. Right? That enroller bonus, that happens forever and ever. Every single time a person enrolls a new person, the person that's the enroller gets 10% for 3 months on that new person. That's how that works. That's how that works. And if they understand the big long-term picture, which means, and this would be what I would verbalize, if you're going to do it that way, verbalize the words, hey, just so you know, if we do it this way, I'll be keeping one of the bonuses. They'll go underneath you. And the bonus that I'm keeping is called the enroller bonus. It means that I will get a bonus on this person every single time that they enroll a new person forever and ever and ever. So you'd be giving this up not just for short term, but forever. Does that make sense? And it's communication. Because then they understand it, because what happens, and it happens a lot. I know some of you guys are going, you just don't get it, Shannon. No. What I get is the feedback from everybody whose feelings are hurt. So let me explain what happens. A year and a half later, after that health food store lady, you just falls in love, and she starts really building it, and she's putting people in her organization, and things are going good, and all of a sudden she sees on there that you kept a part of her bonus, because in her head, that's what happened. Even though she said, I totally get it, right? This is making sure that the communication is so stinking clear that they, a year and a half from now, when they go, hey, what happened? You can go see, remember that's the part I told you about. Because they knew it, because the conversation was had. So don't just use the phrase enroller bonus. Explain what that means to them, so when they're giving that up, because it's their referrals, that they know what it means forever. That's that, so that they look back and they go, you did tell me that. Oh, I get it. Because they understand what it means. Instead, we just use phrases that mean nothing. You know, like if I said, yeah, you're going to take this and bubble butt. Bubble butt. You're going to bubble butt, and you're going to bubble. And you're going to say, what's bubble butt? I don't even know what bubble butt is. Yeah, you can do the bubble butt. I don't care about bubble butt, right? It makes no sense. It's just some random word to them. So make sure they understand what that is. So that a year from now, 2 years from now, when they hear it, they go, oh, I remember. I remember. That's what I do when I'm helping people sign up for Essential Rewards. I literally make a joke out of it, and I let them know, you know, which day are you going to want that? The beginning of the month, the middle of the month. They pick a day, and I say, now remember, you're going to want to go in there on the 15th and get that switched over, because if you don't, you're going to get the same stuff again. Ha ha ha. Everybody does it at least once, and they laugh. 2 months, 3 months down the line, they call me up, panic. Oh no, Shannon, I got that Ninja Red again. I wanted to switch it. I didn't get it done. And I go, I know. Everybody does it at least once. Ha ha ha. And they go, oh yeah, you told me that. Because the communication was clear. I think the biggest issues that happen for people in network marketing, in relationships in general, it's a lack of communication. We weren't clear about it. What I said and what you heard weren't the same thing. It's really important, especially when it's something that later on down the line people might wonder about, that we have them repeat it. So you understand, if I go ahead and keep the enroller bonus on your peeps because you don't want to do anything with them right now, this is what that means. I will be getting a bonus on them every single time they enroll somebody forever and ever. Amen. I know you're not wanting to build right now. I just want to make sure you understand. So do you understand what's going to happen? So I'm getting feedback. Does that make sense? It takes 2 seconds longer. It is not like you have to get an iron contract or anything like that, but it just keeps that integrity. It makes them understand. So later you can stand on your word, and it wasn't sneaky, it wasn't deceptive, it wasn't anything. They totally get it. So understanding that we have to communicate, and that our words have to be, we have to mean it. We have to follow through. If somebody, listen, I talk to a billion people. Okay, that might be an exaggeration. I talk to all kinds of people that aren't on my team, right? Because that's what I do. I talk, I share, and we get multiple requests every single week, multiple, of people asking to be able to switch in our line because of one thing or another. And my answer, it is set in stone. don't. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to hesitate. I let people know up front, and many of you have had this answer. Listen, you do not have to switch into my organization. I don't care how you feel about your upline. I don't care if you don't want to work with them. There are people above them you can partner with. There's also a ton of information that you can get working with other people. And if you like what I do, geez, I've got a ton of videos. You can watch them. You can follow them. Because I don't want anyone to ever think even for a nanosecond that they'd be able to switch into my group that way. I don't. As a matter of fact, if you go to my Shannon Hudson YL, which is the one I share with all of you guys, there's not even anywhere on there to sign up. My member number isn't on there because I never want you guys to question that. I never want you to think that's what I'm about, ever. And you need to feel that same way. Same thing, think this through. So you decide to share you go to a fair. And you guys get a booth, and you guys all pitch in, or one person pays for the booth, or anything like that, and you guys are all talking to the same people, right? So you're talking to some people, she's talking to some people, and one person down here, so they talk to Sally first, and then they talk to Angie, and then they talk to Bob, and Bob, he's the one that signs them up. Now Angie and Sally are like, but I talked to him first, that's not fair, that's not, you know why that's not fair? Is because you didn't talk about it up front. You didn't say flat out, this is how it's going to go down. And it doesn't matter how you set it up. You guys can set it up however you want. You can say, listen, whoever closes them in the end, that's the person. You can say, I paid for most of the stuff, so every other person I get, no matter who signs them up. You can come up with any plan that you want, but you have to verbalize it. You have to communicate it with your people or your cross-line, because a lot of times it's cross-line. So you have one upline that's the same, and now you're working with other people. If you guys know going into it what the plan is, and then you follow it no matter what, which means if you decide, okay, everybody that comes, it's going to be every other person is going to Kim. Kim paid for everything, so she literally gets every other application that comes in that helps pay for her cost, even if she isn't here. Which means if Kim goes to lunch and somebody signs up, you're ethical enough. You have the integrity to say that's how it's going down. Right? You made that plan up front. You may be like, oh my gosh, we had such a great bond. It was so fun. Or you may be thinking in your head, oh my goodness, this person's going to tear it up. This is the one. Oh, I wish this was my person. And you do that under the table. Hey, listen, let's sign you up at coffee tomorrow. Because if you sign them up there, who do they have to go under? And you set it up so, oh, it's not my fault. We talked later, and then later they signed up. You know. I want you to go back to, if you have to whisper it, you just stepped out of integrity. You did. You have to realize that there's not one single solitary person that's the one. Because see, you have to live with yourself every single day. The young living, this isn't for a minute. This isn't for a second. For me, I'm doing this for the rest of my life. I am a hook, line, and sinker, a young living girl. I love this company. I will be in it 50 years from now, right? This is my thing. I'm 50 years old and I got another 50 years and I will still be in this. This is my thing. So I have to know that my relationships with the people in my organization, frontline on down, my relationships cross-line, my relationships across the ocean to people, I need to know that I can look you in the eye and not feel guilty. I need to know that I don't have to worry about, oh my gosh, what if she says something? I wouldn't want that, and I don't want that for you. It will slow you down. It will stop you. It will make you uncomfortable. It will cause fights and confrontations that, oh my friend, you just don't want. And if you have already crossed that line, and you know who you are, right? If you've already crossed that line, you can fix it. Now, a lot of this, we can't change the past. We can't. And roller sponsor, when that's done, it's really hard to go through and make changes. So here is what you can do on the ethical side. You can first go to the person that you wronged and be honest. This is what I did. This is what I did. Just take ownership of it. This is how it went down. This is what happened. And I'm embarrassed that I did it. I'm embarrassed, and I want to make this right. And we can't change, like, you literally can't change some of these things. Once it's done and it's gone past its time, it's unfixable. But you can fix the relationship, because that's the important part. And you can say with integrity, I don't want this to be between us. I don't want this fighting. I don't want this feuding. I don't want this. I'm sorry that I hurt you. How can I make this better? And have that hard conversation. Admit it. Go to the person. Accept the fact that, you know what, for a while they might not trust you. It's hard. It is hard to gain back that integrity. But it's what you do from this minute, from this second. What time is it? 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock? From this second on, what you choose to do, how you act, you can change it. You can, that energy. And for some of us, you got to go through a lot of people. You're like, I did it to this one, and I did it to this one, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I hurt you. And then I want to talk to the rest of you that have been hurt, right? You've seen things happen, your upline did something, and you view it as a mistake, you view it as a hurt. You need to be able to go to them and say, this is what happened. This is why it hurt me. How can we make sure this doesn't happen again? Because communication, it will change everything. You're going to be doing this for years. Switching your upline will not heal what you got going on. You're still going to be mad. That's still negative energy. That negative stuff, man, it will tear you up. It will tear up your team. It transfers down. And if you you wait your 6 months, like, nah, I'm not going to work for her. I don't want her to get a check on me. No way, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to wait my 6 months. That doesn't hurt anybody but you. It doesn't. You can grow wherever you are, regardless of what has happened. You can grab some of your forgiveness oil and say, I choose to forgive the situation. I choose to be okay with it. I choose to move on. I tell my kids all the time, this is it. You got to get over it, right? Sometimes it's just what you have to do. And I can't change anybody else. I'm only in control of me. I'm in control of how I act. I'm in control of how I respond to other people. I am. Stuff happens. People make mistakes, and I need to be like, it's okay. We're going to move forward. This is what happened. This is why it's not going to happen anymore. This is what we'll do if it happens again. Because there has to be, once you've talked about it. Because in my team, if you come and you're talking about a network marketing company, you will get one very quick. This is unacceptable. You are not allowed to do this in my I am on it right now. I don't do the he said, she said, oh, super quiet. No, I'm going to tell you straight up. Because I'm there to protect. The 1,200 people in a room are mine to protect in that time period. They were sent there. They were given to me. I am supposed to speak over them and protect them. And I will protect them from any other predator, right? So I will say something immediately and I will let you know. Remove that stuff. Take it out of the room. And if it happens again, you just can't come to any other Shannon Hudson event. Period. It's a non-negotiable. If somebody comes and you try to enroll or get somebody to switch into your organization and I find out, you just can't come back to our events. But see, we have had that as our rule from the time we were teeny tiny. It's always how we have done it. We have always done it as Crossline because there wasn't a whole lot of us in the beginning, and I'm super friendly and I like to have people together and I like to teach, so we did it as a team. So you can do that. But it's the communication, and if you have been wounded, you have to be okay with moving over it. Getting that forgiveness. You know what? And get your gathering. Y'all, I don't know if you realize how important this oil is. If you guys have gathering, oh, hang on, I gotta put some on. Can't hold it. Oh. It is a beautiful aroma. But gathering, one of the things that I do when I breathe this and I put this on and I'm going out there to share, to bring people together, I'm, Father God, gather to me the people that need this. The people that want this. Draw to me the people that are going to be able to grow in this. Draw to me the people that are going to turn around and duplicate this. And this is gathering. This is a great way to gather together people like-minded. Right? So there's people on my team that are completely different personalities from me. And maybe they're not drawn to me. They don't like how I do this, that, or the other thing. That's okay because I'm gathering to me the people that I do resonate with. And those that don't, man, I encourage them to look up other stuff. If I know their personalities, I look for other leaders that would be able to speak into their lives. Not one-on-one, but where they can listen to their videos, watch their books, do so many different things because they can meet a need I can't meet for them. You are never going to be everything to everybody. You just can't, right? You have to be you. You have to make sure that you're standing in integrity. And when you're overcoming hurts or sorrows or broken hearts or feelings or somebody comes to you to gossip, listen, you have to learn to nip that in the butt. You just have to say, no, this is not how it's going to go. So if somebody comes to you and says, hey, Kathy did XYZ, you're not going to believe Kathy this and Kathy that. Oh my gosh, give me just a second. And I will go get Kathy and bring her back. And then I will say, hey, Pam was just telling me there's some stuff going on. Go ahead, Pam, because now we're all together. And what I have found is it changes things. Remember, there is her story, his story, and the reality of what happened. Because we see it with our own glasses, with our own color, with our own history that it's coming through, right? So we get to choose how we handle it. So I don't take her story and then, oh, you poor thing, and talk about it, and then go to Kathy and then, oh, and you're just adding fuel to the fire. Bring them together. If they're not in the same room or somebody calls you, I will say, hey, give me a second, and I will three-way them. I will say, hey, Kathy, I really don't do he said, she said, but I'm happy to be able to sit down with you guys at lunch, and I will meet together, and we will go somewhere, and we will talk about it person to person. It's called conflict resolution. That's having that integrity, because if you take sides and you listen to stories, you're planning on Royal Crown Diamond. Do you know how many people you have on your team at Royal Crown Diamond? Right? You have touched thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands of lives. That's a lot of lives. And people are going to butt heads, and they're going to get feelings hurt, and they're going to think someday this one did this on purpose and all these things. And you stop it, and you stop that extra horrible negative energy that happens by bringing them together and communicating again. It's always going to come back to that communication and using some of those oils like highest potential. What is it you want? How do you want this to go? Do you want to be able to go to bed without having that stress and that uncomfortable feeling? Nah, you got to focus on this. Your highest potential and the highest potential of the people that you're in. The other one that I like for that is live with passion. You cannot live with passion when you're riddled with guilt. You cannot live with passion when you're angry. You cannot live with passion and get those dreams that you have, that Royal Crown Diamond in your head, when you're busy thinking, I can't believe he did that. Oh, she did this. It was on purpose. Oh, girl. Right? You draw to you what you're putting out there. It is energy. So we got a choice. We got to choose to rise above that, to stop gossip in its track, to choose integrity at all cost. At all costs, to choose it above everything else. And that people are never going to be able to question whether or not I'm being straight with them or what I think or what I feel, because I'm the same all the time. This is who I am. When I'm going through struggles, I share it. I don't try to put on this happy face and life is perfectly perfect in every way, and I'm Mary Stinkin' Poppins. No, I'm Shannon. This is who I am. I have struggles. I'm still on that health journey. I still have a beard. Come on. It's just a part of that, right? So if you can be you with your face, with who you are, and I want to say this, if you don't know who you are, there's our feelings kit. It is a game changer. It really is. Understanding, and even if you don't even understand how to do any of it, get those oils and put those on every single night before bed. Every single night before bed, and verbalize it. Literally, when you're taking forgiveness, say, Lord, I forgive anybody who has hurt me. I forgive myself for holding on to that. I forgive myself for putting myself in that position. I forgive people that don't even know. This isn't about you going to them and asking for forgiveness when you're doing the feelings kit. This is about forgiving what you got going on in here that you're holding on to, that is creating that feedback loop, where you keep doing the same thing over and over and over, and you're running into the same problems, and the same thing happens over and over. You're like, oh, everybody does this. Everybody. Baby, that's you. That's you. That's what you're drawing into you. And start playing with that. The feelings kit. A sacred mountain. Those are just some that help you get that grounding on. Valor. And then, you know what? Valor is also the courage to be able to go to people and say, this is what happened. I just 100% open it up. Be naked before them. Be like, this is what happened, and I want to fix it. I just want to fix it. All right, you guys. So I hope you're all still speaking to me now that it is over and done with. If I think some other bibbits, or you guys have some comments, my screen wasn't rolling, so I can't even say anything on any comments that you guys had. I think that was a gift from God, because if anybody said anything that was hurtful, I might have stopped. And I just really felt like it had to be said. Somebody has to stand up for what is right. I'm just saying, you guys. Young Living Essential Oils, we are so much more than a drop of oil. We are changing things for the world in general. That's a part of what we have. I'm just saying. All right, you guys. I will be on later. Talk to you later. Bye.